Well, it's Friday again, and this is the last Friday in our semester. And I wanted to come on and talk to you guys for a moment about the idea of humanities courses and some ideas about why those exist. Humanities courses, you've already noticed, are part of most university systems, and they've become part of your core education classes. The idea that no matter what major you are at a place like Radford University, that there are certain classes that everybody takes, and sometimes those classes are referred to as the humanities, and that includes classes in things like religion, philosophy, art, like art appreciation, language, theater, maybe dance. The reason that these classes are considered important is because they all have something to do with the idea of being human, as opposed to being other things. For example, if let's say you're a business major, and what your plan is to go through RU and get your degree and get a job managing a business or starting your own business. A natural question that you might come up with is, my business is not going to be about art. My business is not going to be about music. Why do I have to take these appreciation classes? Why do I have to have philosophy? What's that got to do with me and my job? And one way to answer that question is that the humanities cover being human, which is a big part of no matter what you do, whether that's working in a business field, working in sports medicine, certainly working in education, whatever it is that you decide to go into. By studying the humanities, you are looking back into thousands and thousands of years in which humans have overcome difficulties, in which humans have figured out how to solve problems and overcome obstacles. Um, so you can, looking at it that way, it's easy to understand why those are important courses, and that they're part of what is considered a well-rounded education in contemporary society. There's a push recently, as you probably know, for STEM education, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. All those things are very important. They're all vital skills to have, but it's also important to realize how, as humans, we got to where we are now, so that we can put those tools into place. Because if education just gives us a tool to use, like a hammer, and doesn't tell us what to do with it, then that's lacking, and that's missing something. So ideally, the humanities are not just teaching you how to do something, but they're teaching you why you should do it. Um, we can look back on these years and years and years of human teaching and all the experiences that have been had, and use those to find value within ourselves and within our activities. And if we decide to go a certain career path, to find not just how to do that career, but to why is that career valuable. And at the end of the day, when we look at ourselves in the mirror or go back and study things we've done or said, um, how's that valuable? And of course, that's important, because that's a driving force behind the reasons that you do the things that you do. And you might think that you want to do a certain job just because of the money, but I've been there, and the money's not everything. This past year, I was making pretty good money, but because I was working myself to death, and I actually think I did lose my mind for a little while, and I can tell you that the money's not worth it. And you need to have peace of mind, and you need to believe in what you're doing, and humanities can help give you that. Think about this situation. Let's say that someone gives you a task to do, and they say, I want you to go from point A to point B. Well, sometimes that's easier than others depending on where these points are, but it's a fairly simple concept. I start at point A, and I know I need to go to point B. That happens a lot in life. But think about this. What happens if someone says, okay, I need you to go from point A to point B, but I don't know where point B is? Well, that creates a whole different set of problems, and that creates the type of problem solving that you see that takes place in music, and you see it take place in artwork, and uh, philosophical situations. Or someone might say that I need you to go um, from point B, I need you to find out what point A was. Well, again, that's not a simple thing to do, and that requires some pretty complex problem solving, and that's the type of situation that benefits from studying humanities. Or somebody might say, well, here's point A where you're at right now, and I don't know what point B is. You have to decide. It's your decision, and then you have to decide what point B is and then how to get there. And more complex than just handing someone a hammer and showing them how to drive a nail. Um, I'm not saying that STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics isn't important. It's very important. But these humanities are equally important. This all has to do with what kind of person that you want to be. What's your goal? Um, do you want to be something that has one skill? Do you want to have one thing that you're very good at, and then the rest of the world be a mystery to you that you don't care about? Um, because I've seen that happen to people too, and they didn't seem very happy. Uh, Another goal of education is not for you just to be a member of society that produces things and makes money. It's for you to be a happy individual, and if you're a happy individual, then you're going to naturally pass that on to others, and then the whole society is going to benefit from that. Um, so that's one goal as a human. Um, Another goal of humanities classes is to question things, is not to blindly accept things that have been told to you. Now, I told you at the beginning of the semester, don't always take my word for things. I don't know everything, and there's a lot of people that could confirm that. Um, don't just take my word for it. If I say something that seems weird to you or something that you don't quite understand, research it for yourself. That's your responsibility. If you want to learn something, you have to dig into it. I try my best to share accurate information with you, but I'm just human like everybody else, and there's times that I'm wrong. Um, don't accept things at face value. When people tell you life's a certain way, it's up to you to investigate that for yourself, to see and not just blindly react. And once again, that's something that humanities classes help us with, because we can look back over the course of history and see how different people have dealt uh, with the great questions of their age. And there's some questions that we still struggle with today that we've seen approached through art, like the morality of warfare, the class system, the idea of divine right of kings, that if someone has a leadership role in society, they must be descended from a higher power. That still goes on today. And don't just accept that. Look into it and question it. And there are some aspects of culture that say, well, it's wrong for you to question things. It's wrong for you to question authority. It's wrong for you to um, question religion. But that's what we are as humans. We question things, we investigate things, we create things in order to solve problems and in order to live our lives in a happy, fulfilling way. And hence humanities classes. I know sometimes it seems like a pain, and I know there are things that you study and you think, when am I ever going to use this in real life? Well, I hope you use it a lot. And it's my hope that you choose to be a person that cares about things instead of a person that does not care about things. Um, that's another question that comes up. Why do I have to learn this? I don't care about it. Well, there's a couple words there we can talk about. One thing is have to. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do a damn thing if you don't want to. You make the choice to do the things that you do. If you came to college, it's because you chose to do it. If you took this course, you chose to take it. And by doing that, you're choosing to expand your mind, hopefully, and you're choosing to care about things. And that's your choice. If you don't care about anything, what are you doing really? Um, no amount of money, no amount of prestige, no amount of fame is ever going to make you happy if you don't care about anything. Um, think about being a child when you were curious about everything. there's an age that children go through where they ask mommy and daddy, but why? But why? But why? But why? That is humanity. That's a lot of people think that's what we're put here to do is that question why and investigate that. So let that be a part of your adult self too, and never stop doing that. Never stop asking why, um, because it's important. Anyway, hey, I guess we're wrapping it up. We've got a final exam on Monday. It's just 2 chapters. The slide ID, once again, matching the name of the artist with the piece that they created. Why is that important? Why? Well, because if someone graduates from college, there's just an expectation in society for them to know that was a piece painted by Vincent van Gogh. Um, there was a guy named Jackson Pollock who splattered paint all over a canvas in New York City and got world famous for it. These things happen, and these are things to investigate, and these are things to care about. And um, whether you believe it or not, it it is important. And I encourage you to look at this stuff. Remember, you can bring a 3x5 index card, and you can't print off images because we have to do slide ID, but draw pictures. Draw pictures. I mean, people have been drawing pictures as far as we know since the dawn of human civilization. If you want to remember what a Jackson Pollock painting looks like, um, make a bunch of lines that look like they've been splashed around or drips and write Jackson Pollock on it. That's pretty easy. And do that. That's a form of that creative problem solving. Saying, well, you can't do this, but you can do this, and how can you get from your point A to your point B? Anyway, uh, thank you very much for sticking around this semester and for going on investigations with me in art ideas, and thanks for caring. And I wish you the best of luck in the future. Um, I'll see you very soon. Happy weekend.